Morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, June 26th, and this is my recap for this is not my normal video for today, but it's the recap of the Weight Watchers Freestyle -10 Smartpoints Challenge collaboration with Weight Watchers with Carrie. Anyway, I'm going to put, there's a whole bunch of people who did this, and I'm going to check out everybody's recap. I'm going to put everybody in the description bar below so you can check out their videos if you want to see how they did on this collaboration. Okay, so I'm going to do, you saw what I've been having every week or every day of this week. So I'm not going to show you all of that again, but I just want to recap on how it went for me. And I think that there were, you know, the week just kind of got away from me and really picked up and then got kind of busy. So it kind of affected my choices on food and things like that from what I saw. So there's some points. There's a lot of good points. First of all, I want to say I really appreciated this collaboration. So I want to say thanks and a shout out to Carrie for inviting everybody to do this. It was a big learning experience, and it really opened up some windows and my frame of mind on some thinking patterns that I had. So I'm very grateful for that. There were points where it was hard, you know, also. So I kind of want to recap on just a few things that hit me this week. Sorry about the glare in my glasses. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't think that... Here, let's try these ones. That's even worse, isn't it? All right, let's go back to the others. All right, I'll go with this look. All right, so number one, I wanted to, you know, one thing that I noticed was that it's a lot of the little things that added up that I had to be careful about, and that's condiments, snacks, coffee additives, drinks, dressings. It's all those little things that we think maybe a little of this or a little of that, you know, a teaspoon of butter here or there, that maybe it's not going to add too much, and that just kind of like tips the scale, and now you're not going to burn that day, you know. And so I really had to pay attention to that, because with 13 smart points per day, I just didn't have the I couldn't afford most of that stuff. So many times I did not use mayonnaise on my sandwiches. I would use a piece of avocado, and I would spread that around as some kind of a spread. And it's fine because we got a little bit more nutrition, and it was more of a whole food than, you know, something that had a lot of additives and oil in it. And so that was a really good thing that I had picked up. With dressings, I think the only time I used dressings was yesterday, and that was on my salad, and I didn't use that Bolthouse Ranch. It was the first time that I've used it in a bit, and I had to make sure that it didn't have any sugar in it, which was a surprise, but lo and behold, it doesn't. It has pineapple juice, so that was very interesting. Another thing that I had learned was being prepared. That is really, really important. That was mondo important on this challenge, and I just had to, you know, pre-plan every day. And so I would do it the night before, or I would do it at the start of the next day. And I just couldn't see going through the day without doing that. And then I would have to check with my hubby and ask him, you know, what do you have planned, you know, for later in the day? Because I need to know right now what I'm going to do so I can put it in and figure it out. There were a few days there that it was kind of like we were on the weekend, and it was kind of like off the cuff, and he'd want to go somewhere, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, what can I do? You know, and then what I would have to do is just eat like one piece of something, or eat less than I normally would, in order to cut the point so that it could fit, such as the pizza or a burrito or something like that. And that was a little bit of a bummer, because then I couldn't like have a whole piece of something, right? But at the same time, it wasn't like I was still hungry afterwards. So it kind of brought my mind to the point, you know, normally I might have 2 pieces of this, and I'm actually okay with 3/4 of a piece, or maybe 1 piece, right? Pardon me for just still struggling with the coughing fit here and there. Sorry about that. Okay, so another thing that that being prepared drove me to was to carry 0 point or low point snacks on hand. Like if I go out of the house, most of the time toward the beginning of the week, I made sure that I had a cooler with me that had fruit, that had veggies, that had something that could help me and get me through, because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to, I would just get low blood sugar and everything. But toward the end of the week, that anxiety kind of lifted a bit. And although I think it's really, really a good idea to be prepared, I actually felt fine with going a little bit hungry and not worrying about it, because what I found was that most of the time I did have a little bit of a gentle hunger here and there, which is fine. It didn't, kill me. I wasn't feeling weak or anything, but I just had enough, And then on that same note, there are very many mornings that I actually woke up very hungry. This morning I'm very hungry. I didn't have a lot of points yesterday. I did make it, well, I made it within my, 10 points left over. And I ate kind of light, and so this morning I'm just super hungry, right? And it's 23-point day, so guess what's happening? So anyway, another thing I really, on that being prepared note, noticed was that being prepared isn't just about, preparing yourself, like carrying a cooler with your food, but it's also preparing your mindset. You know what I mean? And that's what I had to do, was prepare my mindset for the weekends, especially in those times that you knew are going to, are coming up, that are going to be like temptation for you. It really helped me to get my mindset ready and go, this is what I'm going to do. I am prepared to leave 10 on the table tonight. I'm going to do that. This is my plan to do it. And the mindset really had to be attacked. It really I had to pay attention to it in order to be prepared. That was a serious part of that. The next thing, another good point, was fiber. Fiber foods are often low points. They keep you full. And toward the beginning of the week, I was having a lot of fiber. I was having some beans and things like that. And then, I made the 0-point chili. That was amazing. And then I kind of relaxed on that. My tooth was still bothering me. I have a cap that's, it's new and it's not feeling really good. And so I didn't want to chew a whole lot. So I started pulling back from the fiber. And I have to say that I kind of felt that in my, in my digestive tract. So I needed to, the fiber is very, very important. And a lot of the 0-point foods are fiber. So I should have relied on more of the veggies. I kind of felt like I pulled back from the veggies, and I thought that, I was kind of hoping that this would push me toward more, but it was because of the tooth ordeal that I kind of pulled back, and I was just wanting to eat things that were easy to chew, right? So that was a little bit of a hurdle for me. And then also, I think sometimes in my mind, there's time constraints as far as prepping veggies, and I get a little lazy and I don't want to chop and, get these things ready. But as far as being prepared, what I should have done on retrospect was probably prepare more chopped veggies and salads at the beginning of the week so that I would always have them. So, and they'd already be ready to go. So anyway, drinks, I know that we were supposed to show all of our drinks, and I didn't always do that, but just to let you know, I had water to drink all the time. I just drank water. I only had a cup of decaf, mostly in the morning, 1 cup, and then at lunch or dinner, sometimes I would have one of the no-calorie ice drinks from Sam's Club, and so those are 0 points anyway, and they're sugar-free. So downside, upside, another point is that, when we would go out and my hubby would want to do something mostly on the weekend, he'd be like, oh, we can't do this because you don't have that many points, right? Oh, we can't do this because you don't have that many points. And he would be really bummed out, and so, I would still, we still went somewhere and I still had to redo it, but it wasn't maybe someplace that we would have gone, right? Because I didn't have 23 points. So I just really couldn't even do certain things. And so upside, downside, on the upside, it kept me on track. On the downside, I was kind of like, oh, right, I can't do this, but so it actually worked out for me though. Okay, I woke up hungry. I covered that. Okay, let's talk about poundage lost. Okay, so for this week, I lost 0.8 doing this challenge, and so that is amazing. So I'm really glad. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but for me, I've been inching down over the past month. Over the past month, I figured it out, and I am down now from May 18th. I'm down 3.5 pounds. And most of that is during the no sugar challenge during this month. So that's a good thing. So it really it did shake things up a little bit. So I'm really, really grateful for that. Now, last but not least, I feel like there's so much more to say about it because it really did open up my thinking on so many levels, but overall, I'm really glad, even though it was very fun and it shook things up for me, and after all, I needed it. I am super glad to get back to 23 points. I never thought I'd be so happy to have 23 points. Feels like Thanksgiving all of a sudden, but I'm grateful for that. And one thing that I've noticed though too is that if I came down leaving 10 points on the table and started inching my weight a little bit again, then I think I need to pay more attention because my exercise has slacked over the last 2 months. It's really just gone back and back and back, and for different reasons. That's a whole other video, but I'm thinking if I'm going to go up to 23 points now, I better darn well get on the bandwagon and start walking again and doing my exercise and keeping up again, because I'm going to need to compensate and burn for calories that I'm consuming again. Otherwise, I'm either going to stay the same or I'm going to inch upward on my 23 points. So, and that brings me into my next challenge. I'm going to be upping my fitness during the next month, which is going to be July. Now remember, July is my birthday month, and there are like 5 family birthdays during the month of July, so it's going to be very, very tough. I happen to love cake, and I'm off of my no sugar challenge next month. So I definitely am going to be upping my fitness, and I'm going to be going back to a few other things, but the main part of the fitness, and let me know if you want to join me. It's not going to be too hard. I'm just going to make sure that 5 days out of the week, I am hitting cardio at least 30 minutes for 5 days out of the week. And I'm not just talking about my steps. I've got my Fitbit, and sometimes I make my 15,500 just in being busy, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real intentional cardio for 30 minutes, no matter what that is, constant, and just knowing that I did it. And that is on top of whatever it is for the Fitbit. That is just being conscious of it. So that is during my next challenge. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but let me know if you're interested in joining me. That's awesome, because that'll be great. So anyway, and I'm going to be putting out another this is another thing that's going to be I'm going to be addressing in my next video. Is I got my medical records back on my blood work, and that is going to have to come into play into the next month. As far as my, I'm off of the no sugar challenge and the cake and the whole bit. I'm going to have to think about this. So anyway, I'll talk to you about that later. But anyway, wonderful, wonderful collab. I am very grateful for it. Thanks a lot, Carrie, and thank you everybody who came along with me and cheered me on. I really appreciate you, and I really love you. Thank you so much. You guys really keep me company on this. I will see you later. Have a wonderful day.